I said the biggest adjustment I thought was going to be more so on our OC and our DC, meaning Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. Because Herm, you're coming back with almost the same set of plays, right? That worked for you last year. You want to run a lot of those plays, a lot of those routes, a lot of those, with the running back. So you want to run a lot of the same thing that you ran last year, but the problem is other teams have had a year to adjust. Other offensive coordinators, other defensive coordinators have had a year to adjust. They know where your strengths are. They know they're devised schemes to stop you now. So now it falls on the shoulders, right, to me, of Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn to make sure we put our guys in position to be successful. Even though we know teams know us, they know our strengths, they know our weaknesses, they know how to attack us. They know all these different things about us, but the OC's got to continuously evolve. Therefore, teams just can't bog you down. And, I'm seeing a little bit of that right now. I know they're smart enough, especially Ben Johnson, to devise things to come up out of that. But I'm just seeing a little bit of that because, again, these teams have seen us. We're not sneaking up on anybody this year, Herm. You know that. I mean, we're not. Everybody's gunning for the Lions now, and that's a different position to be in.
It's an offense that has identity. It's an offense that also has players who now have game film and identity and identification. Jameson Williams, who is he considered? Their big play guy. He's
Yeah.
considered the speed player. He's considered the one that you got to watch out when he looks to stretch and get behind the linebackers or get up on the safety. You don't want to get him matched up in those mismatch positions. You got St. Brown, who will destroy you when you are sitting in zone. If you look at what happened, a lot of people said the game before that man coverage wasn't intentional. But I think they were playing man. I think when you look at how they were trying to really bracket and try and make sure that if you're trying to shut down a player, bracket and man, you disrupt routes. But the minute you look at Tampa Bay and they went into zone, he really started to pick them apart. They really just started to find a rhythm, and you're bringing less people because they sit back in the secondary. To say that, meaning with Ben Johnson, he knows that teams have the blueprint, they have the plan. You can only do so many different plays and trick plays and all these things. Your offense is going to be your ability to run the same plays repeatedly and not care what the defense does. And it's basically you have to put them on their heels and make them stop you. I see that this is an offense that's able to do that when defenses aren't aggressive. Where I see the problem coming in is when defense gets aggressive and they start to throw packages and blitz packages and all these things at them because they feel like they're going to be passed first. I can tell you right now, this is not a team that wants to throw the ball 55 times. And there was no need in this game for anyone. You can talk about, when you talk about the OC, you talk about Ben Johnson. The question becomes, explain to me what made you or what put you in a position or a mindset to say we should be throwing the ball 55 times this game and abandoning a run that you didn't give an opportunity to develop. That's a question that whether the head coach answers or whether your OC answers, it's not a criticism, it's a question. So no one should be offended by answering that. And then when you look at what you have in that combination in the backfield and also with the line, you then have to explain away why I don't go to that as kind of my go-to and or a definitive part of our game plan. So defensively, Aaron Glenn, I know he's going to be looking at how to mitigate exposure in the secondary. He's got a couple
Yeah.
guys planned that are new. Teams are going to be gunning. We already know. I said this yesterday in one of our broadcasts that they're going to throw at the young guys. They're going. It's a plan. As I can tell you, as a veteran receiver, you throw the ball at your rookie receivers because you want them to get PIs. You want them to be tested. You want to find out and expose any inconsistencies they may have because they haven't had the experience at this point to really build their own tool, their set of tools. So there's a lot that's happening across there, but it's not all, like I said, it's not doom and gloom.
No.
This isn't pulling them apart. It's saying, listen, we're dissecting what we saw, what needs to be cleaned. It doesn't mean that it's unattainable. It just means these are some things that led to some of the things that we saw yesterday.